The season of the sun falls on the African bush like a fist. But even in the harshest drought, life endures. For this is a land of intrepid wildlife, a land of mighty waters. Beyond the magnificent vale of Victoria Falls lie the secrets of Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe makes a grand entrance. From its northwest corner comes one of the 7 wonders of the world. In 1855, Scottish explorer David Livingstone first laid eyes on the falls. Awestruck by their majesty, he named them after his queen, Victoria. But the people of Zimbabwe have their own name for the falls. Mosi Autunya, smoke that thunders. By any name, they are one of the great natural phenomena of the planet, the widest sheet of falling water in the world. Spanning nearly 2 kilometers, the falls plummet 125 meters down to the gorge known as the Boiling Pot. From there, their waters race off in search of the sea. In southern Africa, Zimbabwe is a nation of many rivers. But the country's lifeblood is the water of Victoria Falls. Cradled in its embrace is a vibrant community of animals. Fugitives from the drought, they form a microcosm of Africa's enormous wealth of plants and animals. And in its stunning variety, this fellowship owes no small debt to Victoria's perpetual flow. The spray from the falls rises 300 meters in the air, and on a clear day can be seen for 80 kilometers. The constant shower is an elixir for plants. Here a verdant rainforest flourishes, even as elsewhere the dry season begins. The more dire its toll, the more animals draw to the river's lush fold. Sipping droplets from a stone bowl is a vervet monkey. Far beyond the veil of the falls, that very sustenance flows through every river in Zimbabwe. Wherever it runs deep, a bevy of birds gathers, unrivaled in all Africa. The open bill fishes along the muddy shore. Like a nutcracker, its long beak helps it break the shells of its favorite prey, snails and mussels. A couple of proud parents show off their recently hatched brood of Egyptian geese. Ever vigilant, a hippo bull surveys all that come and go in his waterhole. Spending the day submerged in its cool depths, his harem protects their delicate complexions, for they are prone to sunburn and dehydration, though their hide is up to 10 centimeters thick. Hippos are not to be underestimated. They may seem comical, but they're actually quite dangerous. They are responsible for more human deaths in Africa than all the lions, elephants, and water buffalo combined. With razor-sharp incisors, he's capable of chomping a crocodile in half. To shield newborns from the crowd, mothers bear their calves alone in the bush. To the dominant male, property is everything. His harem will stay with him as long as he owns a piece of the beach. And he'll jealously defend it all for the privilege of their company. Fighting can wait. For now, they're content with an afternoon's rest. While hippos nap, others stop in for lunch. It's an odd but mutually beneficial pairing. The oxpeckers get a meal, and their huge hosts are freed from ticks and other pests. Still, even so opportune a partnership may be short-lived. Hippos belong in the water after all, and their guests in the air. The hippos might think they own the place, but many others stake a claim here as well. The only land mammal bigger than the hippo is a frequent visitor. Using its trunk like a straw, an elephant drinks up to 3 bathtubs full of water a day. But a trip to the river is also a social affair. Young bulls compete in tests of strength. Like the hippos, they'll only stay with their birth herd until they reach puberty, around age 12. Then they form bachelor groups or wander solitary, waiting for their chance to fight for mating rights. Dirt makes a ready cleanser. Like a high-power abrasive, mud scours off irritating insects. It's also an effective sunblock. Relationships between friends and family hold the herd together, and they're not shy about showing their affection. when elephants touch each other with their trunks, it's much like humans hugging. "16 hours a day, elephants forage for food. They have truly jumbo appetites and an equally big impact on the landscape. A good-sized bull can level 1,500 trees in a year. But nature has its own way of balancing things. In 1992, a terrible drought laid waste to these lands. The blight didn't even spare the baobabs, trees that are legendary for living through centuries of hardship. More than 800 elephants died of starvation. Today, the herds are once again gaining in numbers. Over 70,000, a third of all the elephants in southern Africa, live here in Zimbabwe. And now, remarkably, the land cannot support their numbers, especially as the dry season sets in. The debate of whether to cull them has grown as heated as the land. While August tightens its grip, it's the height of the wetting season for Nile crocodiles. The happy union takes place amid the dwindling waters. Fortunately for the fully immersed bride, a crocodile can hold its breath for up to an hour. This romantic interlude doesn't last nearly that long. Within a few minutes, they separate. The future father will leave nesting and parenting to his mate. In the meantime, they've got some serious sunbathing to do. The cold-blooded croc has trouble regulating its body temperature. It needs to store up as much heat as it can to make it through the chilly nights. When a crocodile does get too hot, it pants like a dog. The smile of the crocodile is grim to behold. Like so many daggers, its 60-odd teeth are formidable weapons. They aren't for chewing, just grabbing and tearing. This primitive creature traces its ancestry to the days of the dinosaurs. And as if to remind us of that claim, it may grow nearly as long as its ancient cousin, the Stegosaurus. As the dry season deepens, Victoria's secrets seem to have dimmed to a whisper. Each animal must now muster all its strength to wait out the drought. river's torrents have slowed to a trickle. And every last swamp and marsh is filled with birds. Each has its own tricks for catching dinner. Spur-winged geese go bottoms up to root in the mud. A snail proves an awkward mouthful. It is a prize hard won, but won nonetheless. The leggy wood ibis trolls the bottom with its feet, jostling the animal's resting there. Anything it hits gets swept up to its beak. The jacana feeds closer to the surface. It eats both the swamp insects and the weeds they sit on. With the longest toes of any bird, it can actually run on top of water plants, earning it the nickname the lily trotter. September marks the 5th month without a drop of rain. Traveling west now across the southern tip of Zimbabwe, the land is carved not by water, but by wind. Matopos, the land of 1,000 hills, is strewn with granite boulders and sandstone pillars. But even in this arid corner, secrets abound. Far from the abundance of the falls, the plants are moisture misers. Each has developed its own ingenious way of conserving fluids. The succulent euphorbia alone comes in 48 different varieties. Its sticky flowers attract digger wasps. Towering above the heat and dust is the refreshing sight of the desert rose. Look, but don't touch. Beautiful as the bloom is, it is poisonous to humans. And yet it's ambrosia for others. The aloe yields a red cone made up of hundreds of tube-like flowers. They make perfect goblets for the lovely sunbird. Its metallic plumage glistens as it sucks out the nectar with its bent beak. Between the rocks on the grassy plains are the haunts of Zimbabwe's rarest treasure, the white rhino. Relic of an earlier age, it looks like an imaginary beast. And soon it may be. This mother and calf are two of only 50 guarded round the clock on this preserve, the last of a few thousand in the entire world. The rhino isn't the victim of drought, but of human greed. Its valuable horn is reputed to be a potent medicine. To discourage poaching, these rhinos' horns have been sawed off. At the turn of the last century, rhinos had actually vanished from Zimbabwe. They were reintroduced just 30 years ago. So far, their recovery has been as slow as the hills are dry. But in Zimbabwe, recent tallies have brought hope. Aggressive measures are summoning the rhino back from the brink. For the creatures here are tough. Every year they survive the punishing dry season. Every year they are sustained by the mighty rivers and the promise of the rain's renewal. In the land where Victoria thunders, that's the sweetest secret of all.
And tomorrow at the same time, a new series, Birds of Japan, looks at the crane.